Jamie, you touched on about our form and being concerning. I think I'd probably challenge you to watch our games, because it's not just the form, it's the manner of the performances. Now, I think we've won 4 away from home this season, but the amount of times that we've been thumped by, Tottenham, Wolves, Palace tonight, it's just every week. And I want to, not every week, but, a large percentage of the season, I want to know why Emery gets a free pass. He talks to us about consistency in the Premier League. Well, we're consistently rubbish. And
it's a bit harsh. Harsh, that, Matt.
It's true. It's true, though.
You were doing well up until the rubbish.
Look away from the table and watch our games. And because the frustrating thing as the fan following them home and away is that we've shown what we can do against teams. And Jamie, one of those examples is against your Spurs in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I was annoyed at that game that it was only 2-1.
Yeah, no, you battered us.
But then the next week, we're playing against 10-man Ipswich, and we can't break them down. The level of inconsistency is just crazy.
Well, they're on 42 points right now, right? 46 points Chelsea. So they're 4 points behind Chelsea, who are 4th in the league. If results turn the other way in the next 10 days or so, I mean, they've got Cardiff FA Cup coming up, then Bruges, then Brentford, then Bruges again. So they've got some more games in front of them. They're still in the FA Cup. They're 2 wins away from being 4th in the league. 2 wins would probably get them to 3rd or 4th in the league, 5th, around that. If you said Villa finished 5th, they had a good run in the FA Cup and they done well in the Champions League. It's a good season, isn't it?
100%, but I'm judging it based on what I'm watching with my eyes and not what the table looks like. We are not going to qualify for Europe this season.
Was you at the Spurs game? Did you go to the Spurs game at Villa Park? I thought they were brilliant.
Yeah, they were.
You're a bit inconsistent. But you are like tonight.
This is the frustration.
You were poor. I thought you were poor tonight. Tonight you were flat. There was a flat performance from everyone. But did Unai get it wrong? Did he try and match up Crystal Palace? He gets it wrong, and by that time the game's gone. Do you know what I mean? Second half, he was all over the place.
I think it's his style of play in general. We start games like we're 4-0 up. If you watch bits of the first half in particular today, even the Palace fans were whistling at Martinez because he's just standing on the ball. It's like, let's go and take the game to them like we did against Spurs.
If I was being...
Show them what we can do.
Obviously, I want Villa to win, and if I was being critical and saying why are they losing games like that, I would say 2 things. Stop making so many passes in front of your own goal and giving teams opportunities. And pass the ball early to Ollie Watkins. He's walking about not knowing when the ball's coming. Yeah, and when Unai Emery took over, you could see that was the game plan. Win the ball back.
Yeah, quick.
Ollie Watkins.
Through the middle.
And he just drifts into spaces and he gets in. Touch goal. He's not getting any service at the minute. He got a great pass from Rodgers today, saying that for the offside goal.
It was offside, yeah.
But then he's not getting enough touches of the ball. It'd drive me mad if I was playing up front for Villa.
And then you can start a whole other line of a conversation saying, well, the players that are capable of giving those balls to Watkins are on the bench. Rashford, Asensio.
Yeah.
It just baffles me, confusing. And just a quick one, the guy that said to you, the Villa fan, I think he was like the first caller, and he said he'd keep Emery if we finished 17th 3 years in a row.
Is that a violin I can hear?
It's been on about 3 times. I'm loving it. I think it's great. I've never called before, so I'm glad I've got that treatment.
About time I've got the old violin out for Aston Villa.
Take it on the chin.
You've got to take one.
And phone up when they win.
Yeah. Matty, listen, mate, thanks for your call.
Thanks, Matt.
Celebrity Chef's phoned us up. He's heard the cake chat. He's a Chelsea fan. Aldo Zilli's phoned us. All right, Aldo?
Hi, Aldo.
Hello, boys. How's it going? I'm bored, so I'm calling you.
Aldo, I am told Jamie this, but about 2 weeks ago, I went to Aldo's restaurant. He cooked prawn cocktails.
Yeah.
For the starters, prawns, massive prawns, lovely.
Yeah.
And then steak and chips.
Right.
Simple, but genius.
Oh, my God. Of course, you're right, aren't you? Yeah.
Genius.
I forgot that you were there.
Simplicity is genius.
I can make that at home.
Not like Aldo makes it. That's why he's world's famous chef. Aldo, what about Chelsea?
Chips you can make at home, can you, Jamie?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I could do that. No problem, Aldo. Get the air fryer out.
Listen. The tiramisu you had, guys, was from the local shop. It wasn't from Marks and Spencer's or Waitrose.
Yeah, I know. See, Dean's been in your restaurant and he's trying to say Marks and Sparks gives you a better cake. What's he on about?
He's the best chef in the world, right? Arguably.
Well, he's up there.
If you give him rubbish ingredients, he couldn't make a nice meal. That's the same as football.
Mate, I have to be honest. You're amazing. Thank you very much for your compliment. I don't get compliments when I call this station normally. Thank you, Jamie.
It's normally Cundy digging you out. Aldo, look, Chelsea. You've got a result tonight against one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the Premier League. But you've been disappointed with them recently?
Well, if we'd have lost tonight and the next one, then Maresca will be gone back to Italy. That's my feeling. But I've been very disappointed lately. Yes, I mean Aston Villa's result was terrible. Two games, with Brighton, one after the other. Losing them two for me was like the cream off the cake. And yes, I mean, you can play the violin.
Bit of respect.
That's out of order, lads. You can't do
a
that.
celebrity chef on the line.
We will finish third, don't worry.
Do you know, Aldo, on a serious note, you know the protests? I mean, you've watched Chelsea for years and years, Abramovich's era and all that. You've watched them for years. Can you understand why some of the fans are protesting, or is it just, they bought too many players, spent too much money, don't know what they're doing?
Do you honestly think it's going to make any difference to protest what they're doing? Why protest? I don't see any point in protesting about anything. These guys have bought Chelsea Football Club. They paid £1 billion for players. Do you think they're really going to care about us whinging about losing a couple of games? It's a business at the end of the day. I'm a businessman. Chelsea is a business. Football is a business. And the guys are, Todd Bowley, I was very fortunate to meet him when he came here. And he's a top man. It's really down to earth. Unfortunately, he knows very little about football, but I'm sure he's got people around him that's going to help him to take this team where we want to get to. With all these young players, it takes a bit of time. But I think Maresca is okay. I'm not entirely happy with the management, but it's something that will improve, I'm sure, with time. Like my restaurant.
Wow, your restaurant's magnificent.
Well, he's got one? He's got a few.
Well, the one I went to.
He never invites me.
But anyway...
All right, I'm going to plug in now. It's called Undercroft, and it's in St George's Church, underneath the church.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Under the church.
In London?
Yeah. Under the church.
What are you doing?
Right. Well, I was at an event.
Ah.
Yeah.
You get invited to events?
Yeah. Anyway, Aldo, so next season...
Yes.
Let's look forward, right, to this. However well they do this season, whether they can stay in the top four or not. Next season, what do you think the manager's got to do? Like, if you look at Nottingham Forest, who spent 200-odd million, a lot of money, and eventually they sacked Steve Cooper, they got Nuno in. He sort of like thinned the squad out, and now they've got a team on the pitch that can play against anybody. Do you think Maresca's going to have to do that? I
think we still need a striker.
Yeah,
a good one. To be absolutely honest with you, I don't think we have one that is going to score day in and day out and take us through with the following season. I think next season is going to be tough if we don't get Champions League football. I think the minimum we expect this year is to get Champions League football. And then next year we expect to get a bit further, but we're obviously not going to win the league for a few years yet. I don't think. Anyway.
There's a lack of leadership, though, Aldo, isn't there? When I look at this Chelsea side, they've got some good players, bright talent, There isn't a Thiago Silva there no more, is there?
No, there's no Thiago Silva. But there's no leadership in the team. You know, there's no John Terry. There's no Frank Lampard. You know what I mean? There's no a good leader that could take this team. These kids, they need leadership as well. You know, and Maresca's young himself.
Yeah.
If you ask me, you know, he's a young manager. He was in a different league last year, so he's come to the Premier League and it's finding it a bit hard. I think myself.
The only leader you could have who's going to get picked every week and knows he's playing is Palmer.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.